I can't believe it took me this long to figure out that real water is not H2O. But this weekend I got the insight, and let's unpack it in this video. So I'm Patrick Durkin from the Wellness Enterprise. I am the author of the book Flow, which is from pure and safe water to higher states of consciousness. I'm fascinated by the higher states of consciousness of water. And I am the one responsible for the Aqua Energizer certified structured water devices to come into the world, which means we have the only device that's been certified to produce H3O2. So you would think, given that I've written a book on the topic and produced a device that creates H3O2, that I would have understood this a lot sooner. So here's what happened. First off, shout out to the Weston A. Price Foundation for their Wise Traditions Conference. I was there in Knoxville, Tennessee this weekend. There were 1,500 people there, and those people are on fire. They are passionate and intelligent, and they are bringing forth brilliant ideas that pierce through the normal narratives in our culture. And I'd highly recommend looking up the Weston A. Price Foundation and Wise Traditions, because that is a great group of people. And being around them helped me to see through things. And so in the realm of seeing through things, I've had life experience around our healthcare system, which I think of now as more of like a sick care system. I had irritable bowel syndrome and I had Lyme disease, and all doctors wanted to do was give me pharmaceuticals. In fact, they wanted to give me pharmaceuticals every day for the rest of my life. And I was able to resolve those conditions in my body, or my body resolved those conditions for me by a balance of diet and lifestyle and the way I think and the way I manage stress and the way I hydrate and all of these kind of things. I've also had a lot of life experience around the education system, which, raising 4 kids, I have come to understand the education system as being more like a system that causes people to give their power to authority rather than one that educates. So here are these systems that are right in front of us, and it looks like a healthcare system, but it's a sick care system. It looks like an education system, but it's a bow to authority system. Why would water be any different? So we've got all these people, everybody, billions of people walking around the planet going, water is H2O. And I don't think that's true. Like, H2O is a state that water is in, but water is in that state when it is altered by man. So when we put water in plastic bottles, or we put it through long straight pipes, we fill it with chlorine and fluoride, we change the state of the water. It has less vitality and less energy, and it's H2O. And when we call it H2O, that doesn't mean that every molecule in there is H2O. Actually, what's happening is that the hydrogen and oxygen are constantly changing their bonds. So you can have a combination of H2O and dozens of other compounds like H3O2. So when we say H2O, it's really a shortcut for saying that the predominant state is H2O. But calling that water, that's not right. What comes out of our faucet, what comes out of a plastic bottle, is predominantly H2O, but that's not the real nature of nature's elixir, which was created to give us health and vitality. I'll take a quick tangent here. Have you ever thought about the difference between a body that is alive in one moment and dead the next? The difference between the two is electricity. Electricity is life force. It's the difference between a living body and a dead body. Well, the same is true for water. And so when you go walk by the ocean, you walk in by waves, or you go hop in a waterfall, that's one of my favorite things to do. You ever notice how much fun it is to get near a waterfall? That's because there's a ton of negative ions in the air. That's because the water is H3O2. I would say that's real water. That's water in nature. That's water with electricity. That's a water with charge. Charging water means charging us. So if we give ourselves water that's charged, like the water that comes through a Aqua Energizer device, we make it really easy for our body to create energy. We're not fatigued as much. We get better hydrated by having H3O2 in our bodies. So H3O2 is the water that God gave us, or our Creator gave us, or whatever language works for you, for the source of life. And when you have H3O2, that doesn't mean you don't have H2O. It just means that the predominant state is this negative charge, this ion donating version of water. That's the version that causes healthy and vital human beings. And the version that man is giving us, just like the version of the sick care system and the version of the compliance system, those are man-made versions that dumb us down. So consider that H3O2 is what real water is, and get yourself into nature. Go to findaspring.com and look up the nearest spring to you and go wild harvest spring water. Go to the ocean, get in moving water everywhere you can. And when you're at home and you don't have access to moving water, get an Aqua Energizer device and make that water living water right at your home. Thanks a lot for tuning into this. I hope it empowers you to be a more electrically charged, alive, vital human being.